Hi, my name is Stuth here in 95.5 WBRU Studios in the studio with wonderful Skinny Millionaires. I got a show coming up November 13th at Newport Blues Cafe with Super Suckers. You can get your tickets at newportblues.com. Skinny Millionaires.
Hey,
how you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
All
Thanks
right,
for having
so
us in.
first thing I want you guys to do is go ahead and introduce yourselves and say what you do in the band.
I'm
Go
Nick.
ahead.
Nick Papagiorgio, bass player.
I'm Mikey Millionaire. I play the guitar and sing.
I'm Sam Westman. I play the drums and sing.
All right, cool. Thank you very much, guys, for coming in and welcome here. Before we ask about your music and things like that, Mike, there's a little bit of an origin story to Skinny Millionaires and you actually coming out here to Rhode Island in the first place from Seattle.
Right,
and it's a little bit scary. So can you tell a little bit about that and what happened?
Yeah, I was living in Seattle for a few years, and we rented this big house. It was like 6 bedrooms, so just so we could have like these big house parties and have bands in our house.
Yeah.
And so we would do this every so often, and so this one time we were playing in our house, and this kid throws a beer at me, and it kind of just whizzes by my head, and I'm like, what the? Yeah. And I kind of, it was my house, so I just kind of played the rest of the song right up in his face. He was sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
And so that was that, and then after the show, I was just kind of standing around talking to my friends, and then another beer comes flying at me, misses me again, bounces off my buddy's head. And I mean, I shouldn't have done this. I was super drunk at the time and everything. I had like one of those full red Solo cups full of beer, and I was just like, and I just dumped it on the guy.
Oh.
Turns out he kind of crashed the party with a bunch of like his gang buddies. He had like tattoos all over his face stuff.
So they weren't another band or something?
No, I had never seen him before, and that's kind of all I remember. It just went black. There was like a pile of people on top of each other, and I got stabbed once in the chest, once in the wrist, which was the worst one because I couldn't play for at least 6 months.
Was it as threatening to your life as the one in the chest, or?
It was probably the worst one.
Okay.
But because of that, me not being able to play, my band members kind of started playing out with other people and stuff. And long story short, the band broke up, and I eventually came back to Rhode Island, and I just started a solo project, basically just me recording, which is basically what Skinny Millionaires' first album is. It's basically me playing most of the instruments except like the violin and some of the other stuff. But then I figured, I want to start trying to play those songs live. That's when I started getting band members. And, we've had as many as 10 people in the band. We've had as little as 1. Now we got these guys. We've been together for about a year and a half. Is that right?
About 2 years now.
Couple of years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Feels like forever. And then, and that's where we're at. I mean,
That's great. Well, we're lucky to have you here. In many ways, I can say that. So
thank you.
Very glad you're here. Nick and Sam, how did you guys meet up with Mike after he came over here?
I met Mike. He was opening for the Dwarves at the Blues Cafe.
Okay.
Went up to him. Was like, hey, I play drums in town. I'd love to, play. Of course, he had a drummer at the time. He looked at me. He's like, I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want anything to do with you. So I thought he was a real piece of work. And so, I got in a fight with one of the bands I was in at the time, and I went on Craigslist. I was like, oh, shit, maybe I'll find something, So I found he was putting an ad out looking for members. And I emailed him, and we got in contact. And this time I had a rehearsal spot at my house. He lived right around the corner from me. Checked it out. We were sort of an instant hit.
Nice.
He ended up getting me a job working at this glass shop blowing glass. And we sort of hit it off, and we were friends from that. And
there you go.
The rest is history, I guess.
Yeah.
Sort of started the band and restarted the band. Wrote a
Nice.
bunch of new songs.
We've been kind of the Skinny Millionaires for probably 5 years, but I kind of feel like we just started since I met these guys.
Right.
It's kind of restarted. It's almost like a different band. Songwriting process is, these guys are involved in it instead of people just coming in and kind of playing songs that
So
were
the
already
Skinny
written.
Millionaires are kind of like a phoenix, just keep rising from the ashes, just rebirth.
We're looking for
rebirth.
members. We need a keyboard player and a guitarist. I don't know what, anybody.
Nick, how about you? How'd you join the band?
Yeah, I was drunk one night on Craigslist. I was looking M4M. I thought that was musicians.
Male.
Musicians.
What an idiot.
It ended up being this
Explains
guy,
a lot.
so we've been happy ever since.
Nailed it.
Oh, man. All right, so on to your music now. After we found out how you guys all got together, you guys just had a successful Kickstarter event, so congratulations on that. It's going towards recording your new album. How was that whole Kickstarter thing? Because I know a lot of bands do that. A lot of people do that to get their projects out there. But was it kind of nerve-wracking to see whether you would get the money built up for it, or how was the Kickstarter event for the album?
I really, I put it off for a long time. I, kind of
didn't want to seem
thought
like
of
people panhandling online.
I thought it was sort of online panhandling for a while. But I figured, well, as long as they're getting something, they're getting the CD or they're getting the shirt, it's just kind of like pre-ordering. And, I tossed it around in my head for a while. I still put it off. But eventually, we were broke, so I did it. And it worked out, and we're in the middle of recording we did the full length, and then we did like a 5-song EP type of thing. Now
that one's Easy Tiger, right?
Okay, that was Easy Tiger. So this will be the second full length. And we have a label out in the Midwest somewhere that's going to put it out called East Grand. And they have some cool bands, and so,
Great. Is there a name or a release date that you guys can leak or not?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay.
I mean, if I knew, I'd tell you, but we don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you guys are kind of, I don't want to put your music into a box. It's fantastic. That's the box I'm going to put it in. But it's sort of this garage punky mixed with Americana, if I can put it that way. But you guys are also, you mentioned you're all master glassblowers, correct?
Me and him,
I won't call
glass
myself
for like
master.
15 years.
We're going on 3 years now.
You're
so.
Kickstarter light. No, I'm just kidding.
I did that as a after school job when
Gotcha.
I was 15, and I just did it for 15 years or so.
So how do the things that you guys do apart from music, including glass blowing, but also just this Kickstarter campaign, how does that affected the album and the recording process going on right now?
It's a tough one, Stuth. You ask the hard-hitting questions.
Sorry.
What?
I'm just kind of wanting the inspirations for the recording process now as opposed to in the past.
The inspiration, I mean, a lot of them.
Now it's us. It's all three of us.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
It's
a lot of
we're all
them
part
I
it.
had as old, just like a chorus and a verse or something sitting around, and we all worked them out together, which
Gotcha.
was pretty new for me. So that's been kind of the way we've done it, and that's how we're going. So I don't know. It's kind of, what do you think is good? I don't know. Does that sound good to you? Yeah, it sounds good to me. All right, let's stick with that instead of like, this is how it goes, or whatever.
Cool.
So
Gotcha. Got Nick, Mike, and Salmon here from Skinny Millionaires and WBRU Studios. They got a show November 13th with Super Suckers at Newport Blues Cafe. Get your tickets at newportblues.com. And what are you guys doing between now and then?
Can I say masturbation on?
This is just going on the website, so say whatever you want.
Oh, all right. Oh, really? I wish I had known that. Fucking pussy. That's it. Crushing it.
We got a show this weekend, Saturday night. Yeah, that's it. Playing Machines with Magnets. A few other bands are playing. It's part of the Rhode Island Jam-a-thon. They do it every year. I think this is the third time they've done it, or second time. Anyways, You get together with a bunch of people you've never met before, and they put you in a room together. You write a couple songs, and then we're going to go perform those songs, hopefully.
That's great.
Hopefully well. And they're going to record it, and they're going to put on a compilation for, State of Rhode Island. This is our sound.
Cool.
There's a $500 cash prize for Hope Media are doing they need a theme song. So Rhode Island-based theme song.
Cool. And that's at Machines with Magnets, you
And
said?
yeah, and the winner, hopefully the song comes from one of the bands from the Jam-a-thon.
Gotcha.
And we get a, recording time and $500 cash prize.
Very
And then we're headlining it with a couple other bands. I'm not sure, forget the names of the other bands, but
cool.
yeah, should be a good time.
All right.
I think it's $10 at the door.
Sweet. Sounds fun.
By the time this goes up, that show will be over.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right, so
You never know that.
that was a great show.
Just in advance. All right, before I let you guys
That's
go,
true.
there's a little game we play here during interviews called 5 and 25. And the goal is, in 25 seconds, I'm going to ask you 5 questions. So it's a little bit Family Feud style.
right.
I'm going to ask you 5 questions and answer as quickly as you can with the first thing that comes to your mind. So are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, each has to come up with a separate answer if you can.
Okay.
Question number 1. What is your favorite album that you own?
My own.
Nice, solid answer.
It's not true. I don't know.
It's not true for me either.
Quadrophenia.
Yeah.
Sam, you got one?
Never mind.
Never mind. Oh,
I mean-
okay. You were. Never mind is your answer. Okay.
That's my
Nice.
answer.
I lied
Got it.
about mine because I didn't know what to say. All right, go ahead.
All right. Question number 2. What is your favorite act to see live, or that you have seen live in the past?
I saw the Hives last year. That was
The
awesome.
Hives are
So,
Front
fun
row.
live.
That was great.
cool.
I like anybody that just you don't know if it's gonna fall apart. It's just always on the brink. I don't know, like Iggy Pop kind of thing. You're like, is that gonna fall apart? So it might. Maybe not. Okay, sorry.
Jack White, because it was so recent.
Awesome.
Folk Fest.
Yeah, all kind of mind-blowing acts. All right, question number 3. If you could add anybody to the lineup of Skinny Millionaires, who would it be? Anybody, alive or dead?
A multi. Oh, honey. Oh,
Bob Dylan,
Bob Dylan. Nice.
Nice.
go for it.
30
man.
years ago.
I'll stick with him. I'll say the same answer.
Yeah, Bob
Oh, it
Dylan.
has to be different.
It has
I
to
mean,
be
you
different.
can say the same answer.
I'd
but
like
you
an
have-
organ
You have to
player,
believe
but
in it.
I'm not. I don't know any names for you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something, but it's okay. You can get the piano player from Nana or something, but never mind. Question number 4. If you could have any superpower, what would that be?
Invisibility, because then I could take a dump in it when it would become visible once it left my body. I think. I'm not sure.
Invincibility? Is that a
Invisibility.
superpower? Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
a
thought
good
you
one.
were asking me.
So like immortality too on top of
Yeah,
that, or
pretty
just
much.
you'll never get defeated in your life?
Pretty much
right,
everything.
gotcha.
Yeah. Like Superman,
Perfection
I guess.
is my.
Yeah.
Sam?
I guess I want to fly. If I could do it, just
Nice,
just
fly,
to be able
yeah.
to fly.
There's a window right there.
Jump it.
Try it.
All right. 5th and final question. If there was a movie made about your life, who would you want to portray you in that film?
Adrian Brody, because he's got a big nose like me.
But his is all off to the side
No,
and
I don't
everything. So.
Brad Pitt, handsome.
Next
Sam.
time.
Probably Jack Black.
Jack
I
Black.
think he's pretty funny. I think he'd do me well.
Someone else.
Charlie
answer for
Day.
me. Probably Tom Cruise, because he's probably my height.
Gotcha. Nice. Great answers, guys. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in. Skinny
Thank you.
Millionaires here in WBRE Studios. Check them out. November 13th, Newport Blues Cafe. Get your tickets at newportblues.com.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks again so much, guys.
Thanks.